Today we'll be looking at pre-Nightingale development of nursing. Nursing was distinguished in its early history as a form of community service and was originally related to a strong instinct to preserve and protect the family. That is nursing before Nightingale. And the desire to keep people healthy and provide comfort, care, and comfort for the sick were the initial focus of nursing. This focus has remained relatively the same over the century, but the practice of nursing has been modified because of societal influence and changing needs. Nursing has evolved into what we now refer to as modern nursing. Nursing is as old as medicine. Nursing and medicine have been interdependent throughout history. During the era of Hippocrates, medicine was practiced without nursing, while in the Middle Ages, nursing was practiced without medicine. So they have actually been interdependent. In ancient cultures, religious leaders assumed responsibility for health and medical care because causation of illness was tied to might and religion. So they believed that it's either as a result of one sin or the other, illness, and that is why it was purely religion leaders and ancient culture that take responsibility for health. Nurses then worked under priests and physicians, performing custodian and personal hygiene care. That was the work of nurses. The physician directed nursing activities, except the role of midwifery, where nurses had always been accepted, and because it's referred to women. And that is why midwifery had really been nursing focus all the while. Throughout this period, nurses as known then did not participate in activities to promote health or teach the family how to care for the sick. Under the influence of Christianity, nurses begin to gain respect and the practice of nurses expand. And the first group of Christianity that we have was the Order of Deaconesses, a group similar to today public health or visiting nurses, was one of the earliest record of nursing, of Christian nursing, and their activities ranges from feeding the hungry, giving water to the thirsty, clothing the naked, visiting the imprisoned, sheltering the homeless, caring for the sick, and burying the dead. These were their activities. Christians taught that men and women are equal before God. Unlike in the olden days that only men are referred to be the head while the women are nothing. However, men and women held the role of the nurses, not only men this time around. The entry of women into nursing could be traced to after 300 AD, that is after that, because of improvement in the society, in the social position of Roman women. There was an appeal to women to carry on God work towards those who were in distress. The Benedictine order comprising men was founded in the 6th century, and this increased the number of women in nursing. During the Middle Ages, the crusade became a stimulus for expanding nursing and healthcare. Military nursing orders for men were formed and hospitals were established. After the crusade, and with the decline of the feudal system, large cities began to develop and grow. This extensive growth of cities resulted in associated health problems. Like we know that the more we grow, the more we are exposed to health problems. Because in most cases, people don't take recognition for the growth they are having to also create enabling environment to take the growth. And that is why most extensive growth is associated with health problems. In response to the serious health problems of the 15th and 17th century, which were the consequences of societal factors, nursing responded by the founding of the Sisters of Charity in 1633 AD by Saint Vincent de Paul. The sisters cared for the people in hospitals, asylums, and poorhouses. In addition, they cared for sick people in their homes, hence labeled visiting nurses. That is where, because they care for people in their homes, and that is what gives them the label visiting nurses. The first supervisor of the Sisters of Charity was Lloyd de Grasse, which was a widow of high social standing. She established perhaps the first educational program to be associated with a nursing order. She recruited intelligent, refined, and compassionate women. The program included experience in the care of the sick in hospitals as well as home visits. The Sisters of Charity were introduced in America in 1809, and their name was changed to Daughters of Charity. The 18th century saw further growth of cities in Europe, including the United Kingdom, and consequently increase in the number of hospitals and more roles for the nurses. Nursing skills and knowledge were generally passed on by experienced nurses because there was still little formal education for them. She recruited intelligent, refined, and compassionate women. The program included experience in the care of the sick in the hospitals as well as home visits. The Sisters of Charity were introduced in America in 1809, but their name was later changed to Daughters of Charity. The 18th century saw further growth of cities in Europe, including the United Kingdom, and consequently increase in the number of hospitals and more roles for the nurses. Nursing skills and knowledge were generally passed on by experienced nurses because there was still little formal education for them. While nursing in continental Europe, especially in Germany, was beginning to make progress, the same could not be said of the UK. Hospitals in the UK were built in response to similar health problems, but the nurses came from the low social status, lacked responsible leadership, and were illiterate. In summary, before Nightingale, nursing had been existing. Nursing is as old as medicine. However, during the era of Hippocrates, that medicine was practiced without nursing. But by the time we read the Middle Ages, nursing was now practiced without medicine. And also, the physician directed nursing activities, except the role of midwifery, where nurses had always been accepted. With this, we have come